Welcome to the live once again, Arm Wrestling fans. I'm Pradeep from Arm Wrestling News. So, this live stream is going to be about the rule discussion video on Ryan Bowen's channel with Bill Collins. And the story is that in 2018, till that time, I don't think anybody was talking much about the rules. Then Michael Todd defeated Devon in WL under loose rule settings, and people were furious about the rules. Same thing continued in 2019. Devon this time defeated Dave Chaffee. Loose rules. People started talking about rules. Then the Devon versus Levan match. It is everything about the rules at this point of time. So Devon at this point of time is attracting the rules debate way too much in almost all of his matches. I forgot to mention the John Brzezinski match. Same thing is happening in every match that Devon Larratt is involved in. So not that Devon is not attracting the audience in other topics, he is, but rules have a special relationship with Devon Larratt. The last live stream on Day 19, I was not able to hear the audio for some reason. I had to change a setting. Hopefully I can share screen this time. And so why Devon Larratt got mad at Ryan Bowen? And man, Ryan had bad luck this time. So Ryan started the video and he made a thumbnail which said, "This man will decide who is going to win," on top of the face of Bill Collins. And Devon was really mad. How can a referee decide who is going to win in a super match? Ben is saying there is so much noise about the rules. My heartbeat almost increased. I thought there is so much noise with the microphone audio. Please don't write like that, brother. So Devon got mad at him, like, how can a referee decide who is going to win a super match? And I think Ryan used borderline clickbait title. So that is why it was. And Devon, maybe he should have understood that Ryan is a YouTuber and he needs to get more views. And it successfully worked because Devon made a video about it and it got at least 2,000-3,000 more views. If it were not for that thumbnail that Ryan used, he wouldn't have got so many views on that live stream. 10,000 plus. 6 days left. What does lose, LOOSE, lose rules mean? I would say not loose rules, but implementing the strict rules loosely. Applying some rules and ignoring others, or maybe ignoring all the rules. This is what basically I mean when I say. So let's start reacting to the Ryan Bowen's live stream. I will watch that live stream in 1.5x speed to save time. I'll turn on the subtitles if some of you are not able to understand him correctly at 1.5x speed. Please tell me if the audio is good and you're able to hear clearly. Alright, I hope you can see the screen. I've enabled the subscribers only mode because I won't be able to interact with you guys much. So let's just increase the speed to 1.5x. Going to save your time and my time. Both are valuable. Please don't mind, the computer is really slow. Andre 19. Andre Lupkis is saying Ryan's original thumbnail was correct though. If this was WAF rules, this wouldn't even be a question. Interesting point.
But a number of people in the chat. We've all just watched.
Can you guys hear it? Please mention
the video where you and I had that discussion earlier today about the rules, or might have been yesterday for yourself. Actually, it's still today for me, but it was yesterday for you. But we've all just watched that premiere, and we had some like 400 people in there. A lot of comments. I anticipate a lot of people are going to have questions. So, guys, the purpose of this live is for you to ask us questions, ask Bill questions. I'll certainly take a back seat in this. We'll let Bill take charge of answering the questions, so please do feel free to send through the questions. The reason we did the premiere to everyone on YouTube was to give a chance for Bill to just kind of lay it out as it is, without the interruptions of all the questions. But knowing how big this match is, knowing how important it is, knowing what is on the line in terms of legacy, in terms of a lot. There's a lot on the line here, without a doubt. So it's important that we gave Bill that opportunity to set the record straight. And so guys, if you have questions, if you super chat questions, we will certainly answer all of them. I will do my best to read any questions that come flying in. But Bill, for everybody, how are you feeling right about now? Is the pressure building up yet?
Is he under pressure?
I was okay until after I talked to you yesterday. I thought, shit, what the hell happened to me? I'm going in this thing with not caring as far as the nerves that may be catching up, but after I talked to him, I'm like, holy shit, this is countdown. So yeah, it's starting to get a little scary, and I think most of the scary part is making sure nobody gets screwed out of the match, making sure you make the right calls. The rules are a little different, so you know,
So clearly he's under some pressure and he's admitting it. I watched this live stream, not completely. I vaguely remember what happened there. So we are going to explain things as it passes by.
as I mentioned, as a professional referee, we're programmed to make a call when we see it. And these particular rules, you know, get a little complex and a little confusing, not only for me as a referee, but as the viewer for the spectators.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
all in all, you know, I'm still going in with confidence, looking at it as the match itself, not Levan and Devon going at it. And I have to keep my focus that way because you know, the hype and everything that's going on right now should really screw with the person's head if they let it.
Yeah, absolutely. It is the biggest match in history. It's in the respect. There's definitely more people watching than ever before. So there is that pressure for sure. And I feel for you, Bill. We've had a question from Chuggington. He says, "Hi, Bill. You are great. Who will be the other ref?"
I don't know why it is hanging so much.
But repeat that again, Ryan. As you know, I apologize to the spectators, but I'm half deaf. You know, I wear hearing aids. I can't hear very well, which kind of makes it good for me on the table because I can't hear all the bitching.
Okay, so Bill wears hearing aid. I was like, why in this live stream Ryan has to keep repeating himself? Why is he not listening to Ryan? Maybe somebody is pointing a gun to Bill's head. I don't know what is happening there.
Bill,
so
see
the bottom referee is going to be
the down
Sergio. The down ref is going to be Sergio, who lives in Dubai. He does not have much experience in arm wrestling matches.
It was they're from KOT1, the very beginning. Sergio.
Okay. And what's
his experience is King of the Table 1, 2, 3. This is what Bill Collins told us. And we're about to get to the interesting part. We're about to get...
I tell you,
sit tight.
With the match at this magnitude,
I don't know what is happening here, man.
You know, it's best to have two highly skilled referees.
Sergio from Romania. Is he from Romania?
You know, Serge, he does a good job with what he's got to work with, you might say. So there's going to be, when we have the little referee meeting between him and I, there's going to be certain things I'm going to really want him to dial in on, be a bit more engaged. You know, Serge is programmed to just kind of stay in the background, you know, so we can see the match. We don't want to have to look through the back of your head. But, you know, it's a lot of angle placement for the cameras as well to be able to catch the match and him do his job to the fullest. So we've got some challenges there that we're going to have to work through. And we've got a couple of good ideas how to make it more visible for him so he's more engaged with it. So, but, you know, that's what I got to work with. So I got to do the best I can with it.
Oh, good.
So this is the thing with the professional arm wrestling. WF referees, they don't care if they are blocking the view of an arm wrestling match for the audience. And in professional, have you ever seen Sergio stand at a table? Do you even remember Sergio standing in front of the table, in front of the camera at King of the Table 1, 2, and 3? I certainly don't. So this is a thing about professional arm wrestling. The down ref has to be out of the way, so which clearly affects their functioning.
Bill, does King of the Table have instant replay ability for this event at all? In the refereeing sense, do you have the ability to double check a call or something like that?
Yeah, you know, we're setting up, and that was another thing, because, you know, one of the things that I wouldn't mind seeing is a additional video referee, you know, for callbacks. You know, kind of make this thing like an NFL. You know, KOT is at the level where, you know, we're getting the highest level arm wrestlers there. They're getting probably some of the biggest payouts they've seen. It only makes sense to be able to do some playback action. That's one of the things that myself and Serge and the technical team's going to talk about when I get up there is, you know, maybe do some play-by-play actions as far as...
So I don't think this is something to talk about when you approach there. Like the replay system for the referees and for the athletes as well. It should be there, the review system. I think it is a must, and it sometimes caters for the very exciting matches. Like there is a 3-3 and let's say Levan wins the 4th round. And then Devon reviews it, and in the review we find that it was not a pin. It was like that much above the pin pad, and they restart and Devon wins that match. So I think reviews and replays can make it really exciting. It should be available for both referee and the athletes.
Not so much play-by-play, but play-back actions if there's any doubt from any one of the referees on the call.
Yeah, well, that would be outstanding. I think, as you say, for a match, this...
I have felt Sergio blocking the view. I hope video assistant referee will be on point. Okay.
as per the rule.
Okay.
And it is difficult at times. So if we have that technology, that's fantastic.
Fenrir, yes, I should be the commentator for King of the Table. That is amazing.
And it's good to hear that it will be used if possible. We got a super chat in from Sap the B. He says, "Hey Bill, if and when Devon tries to move in the referee's or set grip like he did against John, will you foul him or will you let him keep doing that?"
Oh man, you know how many times I got beat up on that one, and that's a very valid question. And you know, I'm going to be more firm this time. You know, again with the rules, they're a little ambiguous for the simple fact that we want to see the match have a tail into the story. So what I anticipate going into this thing is Devon to probably try the same thing that he did with John. Now, on the flip side, is Devon violating the rules, getting that strap on? He's not, you know, and that's one of the things that Devon's an expert at is playing the rules. But
that's where the problems start. Can you recall what Bill just said? Is Devon violating the rules doing what he did while the strapping was on, while he was gripping up? Not. So according to Bill, there was no violation of the rules. And I very clearly remember Bill saying at the rules briefing meeting that I'm going to try to set you up in a set grip, and if any of you don't comply, if you move, I'm going to give you a foul. So 5 minutes went past and the match did not start. So either John or Devon was not following the rules, because you clearly said that if you don't take a grip, it will be a foul. There is video proof of that. And right now Mr. Bill Collins is taking a 360-degree turn, 180 I should say, 180-degree turn, and he's saying that he was not violating any rules. Then who was? Either Devon was or John was, because there is clear evidence. Maybe I'm going to make a video about this as well. Bill clearly said that if you don't take a grip, it will be a foul. And 5 minutes went by, nobody took a clear grip, either John or Devon. The match did not start, and now Mr. Bill Collins is saying they did not violate any rule. So Mr. Bill, if you're watching this live stream, you're either lying right now or you lied at that rules briefing. Very bad thing.
When we get into the set grip, it's going to be treated such as a WAF
foul. So if you move, you foul.
And what happens? And you know, the way I look at it on the set grip, I'm okay with a little bit of movement. I'm not really hard as rigid as the WAF. But one thing that we're going to try to eliminate is any load backing. So when they grab the hand, they can't be loading back. I don't care how hard they squeeze the hand, but we're going to try to eliminate a lot of that movement. So if I do my job right, I should be able to stop it.
So we are not going to tolerate the loading back. What about side pressure? What about cupping? What about pronating? That is just so much disappointing to hear from such a strict referee. Like, he's clearly saying, I'm not going to allow loading back. So you're going to allow side pressure, you're going to allow cupping, you're going to allow rise, you're going to allow pronation, you're going to allow everything. This is how Devon and Levan must be interpreting, or at least I will be interpreting this rule if I'm watching this live stream. Again, really disappointing. Maybe he says something that makes sense afterwards.
A warning or a foul. Now, when I say a warning, it's just a courtesy call. There in the KOT, we don't have warnings that count towards fouls, because a lot of the other organizations, you get 2 warnings, you got a foul. This is just more of a courtesy, just to be able to control the match a little better.
This is one of the most stupidest, dumbest things that I have ever heard. Ever, period. Yes, I'm not trying to pretend that I'm not being disrespectful to a senior referee. Yes, I am. And I will be disrespectful here. So, I'm not going to allow this to happen this time. What are you going to do? Well, I'm going to give them warning. But warnings doesn't mean foul. Then who the hell is going to listen to you? Nobody is going to listen to you, Bill. Nobody. I don't know what you're thinking in your mind while you're saying that I'm going to warn them to take a grip, but warnings are not fouls in King of the Table. Where is it written? I think I read the rules, and if you don't take a grip, it is a foul. I think it is the rule there. You had one job, Bill. You had one job, and you cannot do that. Guys, Adnan Rawashde, Pradeep is savage. You guys please tell me. He's saying that I'm not going to tolerate what happened back in May 2018, or no, not May, but in the John Brzezinski match. And what you're going to do? I'm going to warn them. But warnings won't be fouls. I'm quite sure Levan and Devon are going to listen to you then. I'm quite sure about that.
what happened with when you talked about Devon and John and Devon utilizing the rules there. So correct me if I'm wrong, but during strap application, what Devon was doing was he was gaining webbing height during strap application, and that was permissible within the rules. But as long as it was level at go, then that's all. Is that correct?
Yeah, that is correct. There's nothing written. There's not, and we got some gaps in the rules. But the whole objective on that thing is
There is nothing written. We got some gap in the rules. You are a permanent referee of their organization. Then fill those gaps, man. Fill those gaps. What you're doing. If you know there is something wrong, at least tell us. If you approached with the king of the table guys, you told them that these rules should be changed and they did not change it, then it is a separate thing. But if you know there are some gaps, there are some loopholes, and you are admitting that but not requesting them to change them, then it is on you, Bill. It is on you.
You're correct. It doesn't say anything about the webby being level. That's best practice, and that's probably the fairest way to go. And one thing that I was able to get in the rules going forward is if it's not written in the rules, it's going to be interpreted with the world standard rules. Now, the world standard rules is a bit more stringent than the KOT rules, but it allows me to be able to interpret.
If it is not written in the rules, then it will be interpreted as world standard, which is WAF rules, I'm assuming. Which is written in the rules that if you do not take a grip, if you move in the set grip or referee's grip, it will be a foul. Things that they are already written. You're not following that, and you're saying that the things that are not written there, I'm going to follow them as per WAF. Man.
Where I can get that webby level. So going forward, objectively, before we get the strap on, I'm going to want the webby's level in the center of
Deepak
the table.
Krishna is asking.
That's probably going to be a challenge, but if they don't participate, I'll give them a warning before they get a foul. So I need to be able to calm that match down a little bit for that.
Okay, I need to watch that again. What did he say?
Center of the table. That's probably going to be a challenge, but if they don't participate, I'll give them a warning before they get a foul. So I need to be able to calm that match down a little bit for that to happen, because their adrenaline is going to be pumping so freaking much that I just got to be able to manage it a little bit tighter. And I'll be the first. I'll be the first one. I'll own anything that I do on the table. John and Devon's match, that first match out of all the KOT matches we did, that first match is probably the one that's bugging me the most with John and Devon, for the simple fact that
about that John versus Devon first round, I tagged Bill Collins in a Facebook post and I said, Bill, it is simple math. You clearly said at King of the Table 1 and also 2 rules briefing that if you don't take a grip, don't attempt to take a grip, it is a foul. Okay, it is a foul. Then 5 minutes and no grip. The match did not start and only 1 foul. How is it like not following simple math? Simple math would say that, like, how many seconds would it take for you to identify that a person is not attempting to take a grip? 5 minutes? Only 1 foul in 5 minutes. And when the rule says that if you don't take a grip, it is a foul. I just don't understand how that math works. And I and Muhammad Hassan and many others, like, completely, we tagged everywhere where we talked about the rules, and this is why maybe Bill Collins is saying that thing still bothers him. And bro, you're almost on the way to doing that once again. This time the rage of fans, and this is not against Devon. I'm not saying Devon is the one doing that. This is why I said Devon or John, because if you look at Devon versus Michael Todd, Devon had absolutely no problem setting up the match, because Michael does not fight for the grip. Sometimes he starts even in a negative, like, not so good position for himself. The matches started immediately. There was no messing around. So maybe it was John, maybe it was Devon.
If you look at how the rules are written, Devon didn't do nothing wrong. But if we look at how the rules...
Bill, I'm going to make a video. I'm going to tag you with your own voice, whatever you explained in the rules briefing. According to you, Devon did something wrong or John did something wrong.
Going to be applied going forward. I should be able to control what happens as far as the webbing, just to get the strap on, to make it fair for both people, pullers.
Now, I know that about a month ago, Bill, there was a lot of drama to do with the contracts and the signing of the contracts and under what rules were the signings. As you mentioned, Devon has insisted that it goes back to the rule sets that were the precedent for when he signed. Part of that precedent back then was, I guess, the looseness that we just described, that 5 minutes that happened with John. Are you anticipating Devon to expect that level of freedom again?
Well, it's okay what he expects, but it's not going to happen like it did with.
Of course, it is going to happen like it did with John. Of course, it is going to happen. I can guarantee that. I can already guarantee that.
It's okay what he expects, but it's not going to happen like it did with John. The
Man, this history.
difference between John and John, he gets up there. He just wants to arm wrestle and win the match. He don't care about the rules. On the other hand, Devon, he fully understands and fully engages the rules and uses it to his advantage. That's the difference between the two on that particular match. Devon came in well prepared on what he cannot get away with, where John was a little confused on the specific rules for the simple fact he's arm wrestled all these years and is used to a set of rules. So again, just by having the interpretation of the head referee, I think that's going to help solidify some of the stuff that you might have seen on that last match.
We hope so.
Sure.
We hope so.
Bill, you might remember this quote. I'm not sure if it was you or a different referee, but when years and years and years ago, I remember watching a video. I have a feeling.
So Ryan has been spreading this rumor for a very long time right now. He's going to say, if I remember correctly, that Bill Collins said to someone who was complaining that he's not letting me take a grip, and Ryan said that then Bill Collins said that then you're going to lose the match probably if he's not letting you take the grip, and Bill Collins corrected that he did not say that, and if he used such vocabulary, then he needs to be kicked in the nuts or something like that. Ryan, I'm not saying Ryan created that rumor. Maybe Ryan heard it from somewhere and Ryan continued to spread that rumor even further.
Which was your league, of course. And I remember an athlete was whinging about getting a grip. They couldn't get a grip. They couldn't take a grip. And I feel like it was you that said, this person is, and it begs the question, when does the match start? I know we talked about this before. I'd love to go there again. When does the match start? Is fighting for a grip, are you obliged as an athlete to give your opponent a fair grip? Or are you allowed to actually take it and say, no, I've got it, you can't have it back? Where does it sit in that respect?
Well, let's start from the beginning, because there's a couple folds in your comment there.
Of course, I think it is the responsibility of the referee to let them have a fair grip. People are saying that you should not rely on the referee, you should fight for it, you're not going to get in a competition. Well, you should. You do get a fair start in every other sport. In arm wrestling, it should be the same. And if you have to fight for a grip and the referee doesn't, it isn't the responsibility of the referee, then why is the referee there even in the first place?
There is. Man, if I told arm wrestler, it looks like you can lose, I need to be kicked in the nuts, because that's usually not part of my vocabulary. But it is up to the competitor to get their grip. It's up to the referee to make sure that their grip is fair, just for the simple fact that some people...
Till the time it gets to a referee's grip. After that, it is 100% referee's responsibility in the referee's grip.
Grip high, some people grip low. The referee is not going to tell them to grip high or low. Our big concern is, can we see that line on the top of the thumb knuckle, and are they centered from peg to peg and centered from arm wrestle to arm wrestle? Now, when we start looking at the rules, we've got some really rigid rules. UAL uses the WAF rules with the exception of the starts, and the KOT uses their own rules that we designed for the special super matches. But again, it's going to be up to the referee to make sure the grip is fair on the start. And when I say fair on the start, again, the concentration's on the top thumb knuckle, knuckles level, center to center from peg to peg, center to center from arm wrestler to arm wrestler. It's going to be up to the arm wrestler to be able to place his hand where he wants to make that match be fair.
Roger. Uncle John's Arm Wrestling Show is coming with a super chat, $6.99 Canadian dollars. He says, Bill, is there a paper copy of the official King of the Table rules? And if so, is it accessible to the public? Good luck, Bill. Keep them in line.
Now, look carefully how carefully Bill is going to dodge that question and blame it on Ryan. Like, is there any way possible that you cannot understand this question? I think it is quite clear, and Ryan read it out quite clearly. And Bill is going to dodge this question, see? And I salute Ryan. I salute Ryan for something like you're going to see that.
Yeah, you know what? I agree. Right now, and the KFCL, let's back up on the rules. So there's a little committee on the rules. I can make suggestions and recommendations. It's not my final ruling on what the rules are going to be. It's the KOT. So the committee looks at the rules. And I'll be honest with you. Right now, we're trying to, the committee is looking at what is the best possible set of rules that we could keep using moving forward that's going to try to make everybody happy. because we've got a lot of pullers that write in and say, "Oh no, you guys should keep it on the set grip where strap is applied before the match started." Then we got some that say, "No, you guys should do the WAF style where the strap is earned." So there's two. How do you come up with something to make both groups happy? So once everything is solidified, because it's not. I mean, we looked at the KOT 1 and 2 set of rules. Then I was able to get some of the rules changed in the KOT 3. Then this came back to me. Well, what are we going to do? What set are we going to be using for KOT 4? Now it's not up to me. I just proctor what they give me. But the second full of that question is you mentioned Devon and the contracts. So I do.
No, nobody mentioned Devon and the contracts in this question. The question is very simple. Is there an official copy of the rules and where can we get it? And you're mentioning WF, you're mentioning grips, you're mentioning King of the Table 1, 2, set grip and whatnot, but not the copy of the rules.
You know that when Devon accepted that match with Levan, it was expressed that we'd be using the KOT 1 rules. Okay, that was set before Devon even agreed. Now, from what I understand, and I wasn't part of the conversation, but when it was posed to Levan to accept the match with Devon, Levan said, "I don't give a shit what set of rules we use. I just want to rip Devon's arm off." So it looks like for their match, it's going to be the KOT 1 rules, and the rules.
Yes, Levan did say that he doesn't care about the rules when he did not get what he wanted. Like he tried to discuss the rules, but he couldn't. That is when he said that he doesn't even care. So it shouldn't be mentioned like that Levan didn't accepted any rules he want. Yes, he accepted them technically, but after he saw that nothing is going to work for him, and I'm not saying it should have worked for him. He signed the contract, he should follow the rules.
From KOT 1 to the KOT 3, it was the only thing different was the set grip and the running foul. Now, again, the set grip for the KOT 1 was basically elbow in the pocket, strap on, close your thumbs, close your hands, go. Everything else remained the same. KOT 3, if you can't get your grip, we're going to get a referee's grip, WAF style, and the only way the strap is applied is if you both. I know they're trying to accommodate everybody's request. It's just it's a challenge trying to get them both accommodated to satisfy everyone, you might say.
Okay. So
and then again, going forward.
Yep.
Going forward, we talked about this because. Again, the KOT 2, I tried to change a couple of things. It wasn't warranted for the simple fact, some betting itself is mainly.
Wait. He said some betting issues. Like, why is King of the Table concerned with what betting issues, with what arm bet and with what stakings has to do? Like, they're a separate thing. Like, I don't know why King of the Table or any organization have to care about betting agencies unless they are paying them something to have their matches on there. I'm not sure if they're paying them, then they might have to listen a little bit. But otherwise, I don't think there is any reason for that.
That's what may be different from the one to the other.
Okay. So for this one, King of the Table 1 rules, you're in the strap after the auto strap rules come into play after a certain amount of time, and it's close your thumbs, close your hands, go, if they haven't negotiated a grip.
Exactly.
Righto. Okay. No worries. And just to touch on Uncle John's question one more time, is there a paper copy of the official rules? And
Somebody was saying maybe he has hearing problems. No, Bill clearly heard that question. He just tried to avoid that, and hats off to Raito for asking that question one more time.
Is it anywhere out there?
No. Sorry, John. You caught me deviating away from that. There is a.
Ryan did not say anything after he read that comment, and Bill is saying you got me deviated after that. I don't think so.
But it's not going to be up to me to expose them. It'll be coming from KOT, and I'm sure it is. The written rules are given to the arm wrestlers while they're there. We've got a stack of written rules. We go over them on the road briefing. It just hasn't been put on a website or whatnot to be exposed. But you could expect them to be, because we're trying to be transparent, and it's best to be transparent so everybody can try to understand.
Shown, presented, made available. Bill exposed. Bad word selection here.
What I'm trying to referee. This way I don't get tarred and feathered.
You have the hardest refereeing job in the history of refereeing.
Actually, I kind of know why they haven't exposed the rules, but not my place to talk about them here.
Right now, next weekend, I don't think there's been a harder job than what you're about to do. So we all take our hat off to you, Bill. But hey, we have another super chat coming from Hab Naffle. He's $4.99. He says, "Hey Bill, how about pushing the elbow forward before the go? Devon took a lot of liberty in doing that in last King of the Table. Will you call Devon out on that? On the sliding forward of the elbow?"
Yeah, repeat that for me, Ryan, so I fully understood that.
How about pushing the elbow forward before the go? Devon took a lot of liberty in doing that in the last King of the Table. Will you call Devon out on that?
So, or
He
just so,
flipped
just
forward just before the go. He would slide his elbow forward just as the start was happening.
oh, gotcha. So it's almost like a running start we're talking about. So, so let's look at it this way. Look at the WAF setup. Okay.
Travis Vagant was the master of doing that. Just before the referee said go, he would shove his elbow forward and create a post and climb on the hand of the armrest. And yes, Devon did that. Devon did that in round 1 against John. People are saying that John moved first. If you watch that match in 0.25x speed, Devon's elbow started moving forward before anything moved in that match.
There's no moving in the wrist grip. The set grip, like KOT1, again, they're a little ambiguous. There's a little moving around, but yeah, what we're looking at the KOT4 is being a bit more firm on the movement. So if we're looking at, let's say Devon's gripping up and he moves his elbow forward just to get around.
Again, in King of the Table first, I would remind you, Bill Collins clearly mentioned in the rules meeting that it will be a foul if you move or don't take a grip. And now he's saying like, we will try to be a little bit more firm. It is not a straightaway foul. Man.
Start and gains any kind of positioning on the movement, yeah, he'll be getting fouled out. Or not fouled out, he'll get a foul over that.
Okay, you heard it here, guys. Jay Farrell
Great.
comes in with a super chat, $4.99. He says, "What are you and Bill's opinion on this question? Is this the biggest arm wrestling match of all time?
Okay,
Going back to the
this
70s,
part is
80s,
not
90s,
interesting for this live
and
stream.
2000s and beyond. You've been in the sport a long time, Bill.
Is the video quality really bad? Please tell me if you are able to like at least see the video and hear me correctly. Maybe I should reduce the quality further. Pradeep, he said it because he knew he did mistakes in John Devon match, so just said okay.
In particular, in respect to the King's move.
So we talked about, I heard you say running foul and King's move.
Yep.
So are
Yep.
you talking about the running foul and King's move?
Well, yeah. How will those two things blend together with the elbows being a running foul and in the King's move? Where's the line between losing position foul versus giving Devon time to get back on the pad if he's off the back of the pad? Is it a running foul or is it a loss? How is that being interpreted?
Yeah, so let's look at the running foul itself, and then just fouls in general. That might be easier to. The running foul is basically a foul where you couldn't see any position gained, so to speak. In other words, a small little elbow hop, a little bobble. You know, England calls them micro fouls. We just call them running fouls because I don't know what the hell a micro foul is, because it could be, an eighth.
This is something that I completely agree with Bill on. I don't know what a micro foul is because I can guarantee nobody in this world can write the definition of a micro foul. Literally nobody
I don't know
can.
what a micro foul is, because it could be, an eighth of an inch and it could be half an inch. I don't know. And shit's so happening so fast on the table. So what we look at is a small elbow hop. That's a running foul. You got something significant. That's for complicity's sake, I'll say a major foul. So you got a running foul and a major foul. Small little elbow hops, running foul, which are counted. They're all counted. Anything where like the elbow comes off the back or whatnot, that would be considered a fixed foul. That'd be a fixed foul. Any fixed fouls stop the match and restart. Now, one of the things that we're trying to eliminate is, let's say you and I are arm wrestling and you're winning me, and I create an intentional foul just to be able to stop the match for a restart. It's not going to be it's going to be a win on your side if you pin me. So
From what I got from that, let's say if a King's mover drags his elbow completely off the back of the pad to get a restart, so it will be it will be a foul or a win. What did Bill say? Let's watch it again.
Me, and I create an intentional foul just to be able to stop the match for a restart. It's not going to be it's going to be a win on your side if you pin me.
Okay, win.
So, the runners and the fixers are totally different. Now, when we start talking the King's move, let's say someone drops down into the King's move where the humerus is in declining position, that is a fixed foul. Okay, if it's in a neutral position, they'll get a restart. If it's on the losing side of the table, it's 2/3 of the way down, it's a loss of the match. That kind of help a little.
Yeah, that should clarify it for everyone.
Okay, this is the most clear part of this. Like, if you're in a King's move and you're in a neutral or losing position and humerus declines to a downward angle, it is a straightaway foul. And I think he mentioned if it is 2/3 to the losing side, it can be a loss as well straight away, which I have never seen anyone give it a loss directly.
Yeah, the damn running foul is kind of complex in this, and sometimes it's hard to understand for a normal person, let alone a spectator that doesn't know what's going on. And twice as hard for a damn referee, because you got to be able to count what's going on. And this is where my downside really has to be engaged, is help keep these fouls counted, because there's so much shit going on the table that it's possible I could lose track of it.
Yeah, for sure. Bill, what sort of fouls result in a restart of the match? You mentioned a couple of fouls there that are just losses, i.e. in the bottom 2/3, or substantially gaining position, calling a major foul. When can we expect a match to actually just say stop, we're restarting again?
Yeah, so what might be easier to understand that is look at how the world standards WAF rules are. When they get a foul, any foul, they stop the match. Okay, what we're doing is the same thing should apply. When any foul happens, we'll stop the match with the exception of a runner. And again, a runner is just small little, tiny, significant air pockets or air gaps, or maybe the tip of the elbow comes off the side of the pocket a little bit and doesn't gain any position. But if there's something significant where something has changed, whether the hand, the arm, or the body positioning, that would be considered a fixed foul. That's probably the hardest thing to be able to identify is what move or what position changed.
So the thing about the King's move is, from what I felt, the humerus downwards or shoulder below the table, it is right now, till now, it is a foul for dangerous position. Warning, and then I think they changed it to foul for a dangerous position. So it is not like advantage gained, but it should definitely be advantage gained. How many times we have seen a guy losing, and then he dips below the table just for a second, maybe half a second, and he's able to take his opponent's wrist. Because when you dip below the table, it creates extra torque from there, and you are able to pronate out of your opponent's hand, and you immediately come back up. So technically, it is a huge advantage gained. And what does running foul say? Advantage gained is not a running foul. It is a direct foul. So I think if you dip below the table even for a millisecond, like very small amount of time, it should be a foul, not a running foul, because there is clearly advantage gained in the pronation department.
Get that fixed foul. Does that make sense? So looking at, again, a running foul, small little tiny infractions. A fixed foul, look at how WAF does it. That might help understand that a little bit.
Okay. All I'm imagining at the moment, like you said, it's complex. It's hard enough for an experienced referee to execute on, let alone the fans watching it, and also the athletes. I'm given the significance of this match.
About the complexity, running foul is the most complex rule in arm wrestling, period. Maybe in entire sports. I don't follow much about other sports, but I think it can be one of the most complicated rules in any sport.
Seeing arguments happening. How are you expecting arguments, and how much will you tolerate from either athlete if they're? Well, look, I can see Devon in your face, and I can see Levan saying, "I'll freaking walk off unless this is enforced." What are you expecting?
Oh man, I know shit. It's gonna happen, and I think in my case, I don't very rarely I get pissed off as ref in any match, so I could take a lot of screaming and ass chewing on the ref and not lose my composure. But if it gets too out of hand, I'm just going to give them a little courtesy warning. Hey, next one's going to be a foul if you don't listen. So, but you know what, Ryan, to be honest with you, that's what the spectators need. They need to see the drama. They need to see the story and the tell into the story. And that's, that builds that drama. So I'm okay with it. They want to get in my face. You could probably see my reactions if, in the past, if someone does, I hear you, and I'll keep on plugging along.
Yeah, it's that part of it is like,
so what does that mean? People want to see the drama, they want to see the match. Does that imply that rules should not be implemented correctly? I don't know what he's trying to say here.
The anxiety on your behalf, and I'm sure we all do too, thinking, oh man, these two giants are going to be, they're very polarizing, and they're coming with the background of the arguments they've had over the contracts and all that sort of stuff. There's a lot of tension there, disrespect from cultural perspectives. Are you prepared for genuine conflict between them? I don't know, like, have you had to deal with verbal conflict or like conflict that goes outside of the table? If there's a genuine issue between them, how do you handle that?
Yeah, well, I think the main thing would be able to control and contain it. And that could be done in a couple different ways. If you see, I don't know, personally, I got two bulls going at this thing for this particular match. And, if something gets out of hand where they're screaming and yelling, I'll sit back for a little bit. But if it looks like it's starting to get out of hand, I'll most likely pull one of them off to the side just to try to defuse anything that might be happening. But you can expect it. I expect them two guys to be in each other's face, talking shit to each other. I expect Devon to be Devon. I expect Devon to be Devon. Now, if the whole idea is trying to control that damn match, and to be honest, I don't have a solid answer right now. It just depends on what happens is what my actions might be. But
sure. Do you have anyone in your team that can speak Georgian?
So about if they get into a fight, Bill was saying at first he will just step away and then try to calm down. People are listening to you, Bill. Referees have power and they should definitely have some power. I don't think Devon is going to be the one to initiate the physical fight. I think 99.9% it is not going to happen. If it is to happen, I think Levan will be the initiator. And if Levan tries to do that, you're going to try to calm him down. You have the power. Just mention that you're banned from that fight. If you just even touch Devon, or if Devon even touches Levan physically, like a punch, like maybe they can like do this on a chest, even this should not be allowed, but this does not warrant a complete loss in a match. But if they do get into a fist fight, please mention that whoever started that first, I'm going to just disqualify him from that match. For the sake of the match ending on pins, are you going to allow them to fight as well? I think it is just madness. Referee should clearly say that you are banned, and I will ask the core sports, the king of the table guys, to completely ban you from our organization if you try to fight. This is how a referee should speak, not like I'll first try to get away from them because they are big guys and then I'll just try to calm them down. No, if they lay hands on each other, they're banned. Simple as that. They lose the match.
I'm sure there's going to be somebody there for interpreter as far as my team. My team, as far as I'm concerned, is Sergio, my down ref, and the video guys on being able to do some playback. I would like to think Levan's going to have somebody there to interpret anything for him. And, if there's a dispute or anything, I welcome the interpreter to be, off to the side of the table to be able to speak for Levan, so there's no misunderstanding.
Wonderful. Yeah, because that is one of the things that I can see as a potential, like, really big issue is the fact that if Devon is chirping away, blah, 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 into a face and all this kind of stuff, Levan's sitting there waiting for let's just freaking arm wrestle or whatever. And the fact that he can't understand what Devon's saying because he's rattling it off so fast, and that will cause a lot of frustrations for Levan, and it may boil over because of that language barrier. So, it's so complicated, Bill.
Oh man, well, I tell you, Devon's an expert on getting inside your head. I've seen it. I've seen it before, and I expect it. I mean, I think the mental game is going to play just as much as importance as the strength game when these guys are arm wrestling. So I expect Devon to try to get in Levan's head a little bit. I expect him to be very, very aggressive on the grip. I expect him to be very, very aggressive with me. But like I said, I'm going in this thing with a little different mindset. I'm a hell of a lot healthier than I was at the last one. Something came up unexpectedly. It just kind of threw me for a loop. But like I say, my mindset's going in this thing a whole lot different. Going in with more control on that type of match. But when these guys start battling out each other and start getting each other's face, again, it just depends how bad it gets to see what kind of action I'm going to have to take to be able to try to control it. So, I just don't want to fall short in that area.
Yeah.
Again, way too lenient in your words. And I'm quite sure Devon listened to this interview, and Levan is also listening. And refereeing an arm wrestling match is like a relationship with your girlfriend, maybe. If you allow something, if you do something, that is going to expand, it is going to increase, it is not going to stop. It becomes the norm, like, yes, that much is allowed. It is going to happen for sure. It is going to be worse than King of the Table 2.
Before you said these guys are two bulls going at it. Yeah, this is controlling these men is going to be a very, very challenging task. And
absolutely.
Yeah, I know you'll do a fantastic job.
And why my question to Ryan would be why it is going to be a difficult task. The referee should not even look at who is arm wrestling in that match. He should just look at the hands before the match and elbows after the round has started. Just focus on the elbows. Do not even look at who is arm wrestling in that match. And people are saying, I think in the other video, or maybe in this video, Bill was saying that, well, if he's as strict as WF rules, they both are going to foul out. Both? Really? Levan has been competing under WF rules for a very long time, for a decade, and I have rarely seen, I don't think I've ever seen him getting fouled out. So how is he going to get fouled out? Have you ever seen Devon get fouled out in a match? I have not seen Devon get fouled out as well. Like, the referees know, like the arm wrestlers know when the referee is all business. And I can tell you straight away, the match starts, referee looks at Levan's eyes, looks at Devon's eyes and says, if you do not follow the rules, I'm going to foul you. The match is going to look very bad. The viewers will be frustrated. Please follow the rules. This is my last warning. And if nobody's going to follow that after that, especially what happened at King of the Table 1 and 2, at 2, not 1. And then they're going to move, just foul, immediately foul one guy, immediately. And I can guarantee no matter who it is, he's going to follow the rules. Unless some guy knows clearly that he's going to lose anyways, then they're going to still foul out, which always happens. And people then complain that, well, we did not want the match to end on fouls. It ended on fouls. Why? Because the other guy clearly knew that without fouls, he cannot win that match. Like the BLM versus Chan Shaw super match. People are saying this is the worst match we have seen. Stupid fouls, stupid rules. Fouled out the guy. We wanted to see the match. So why did the rules or the referee foul out that guy? Because he clearly knew that without fouls, without moving early, without going early, there is absolutely no chance that he's going to do anything with Chan Shaw. The same thing is going to be every time. When people foul out, they clearly know that they are outmatched. And if you want to allow that, if these are the talent levels, if you want to make them like this by ignoring the rules, then I don't know how good it is.
Couldn't be more experienced at it. But wow, it's going to be that's going to be part of the show, like you said. Ultimately, it's part of the show is to watch. Like as a fan watching this, is going to be like, oh my goodness, who's Bill going to have to rein in first? Who's going to lose it? What's the because it's going to happen. But anyway, we got another super chat bill from Red Rocket Pig. Sounds like an RVJ inspired username there. 6.99 Canadian. Thank you, brother. He says, huge fan of yours, Bill. Best referee in my opinion. Who is your top 2 people that you regard as the most technical in setups?
So repeat that last part. By the way, I appreciate that comment, man. It's always welcome to hear stuff like that. My personal opinion. He's very technical. He knows where to put the hand, and when he puts the hand, there's a specific reason why he's doing that. When you start looking at technical on the table, I got to revert, back to John. That guy could do some crazy stuff on the table. So his grip isn't, as far as I'm concerned, technical. He's an easy man to set up. He goes in there and grips up. Referee's happy. We can start the match. Devon, we can't take that away from him. And he knows every angle whenever he puts his hand down. He's pretty table savvy. There ain't no doubt about that.
Absolutely. Hey, Bill, we got another super chat come in from Sebastian Simpera. Thank you, Sebastian. He says, Bill is the best referee. Don't be afraid to tell Devon to shut up and pull.
Oh, man. I love you, dude. I try to treat the athletes professional when they're on
You see the kind of a relief on Bill's face after reading this chat. It is almost like somebody is holding him onto a gunpoint or something. Like Bill, trust me, he's under a serious stress. If he does not do his job properly at King of the Table, then man, it is going to be really bad for him. Like really, Bill almost, I don't know if you saw that post or not, Bill almost quit. He almost quit King of the Table after King of the Table 2 because people just, including me, just thrashed him online. And I think it is going to be much worse this time. If the authorities, if the guys in power want you to ref in a certain way, then admit it. Then have the guts to admit it that I want to do this, I want to follow strict rules, but they're not allowing me to do that for the sake of viewership, for the sake of entertainment. There's nothing wrong with that.
Even though they're getting in my face and chewing my ass or whatnot. But again, I think the whole concept with the rules is we want to see the match. We don't want to see the matches end on fouls. But what I will do is I'm gonna be flexible. So if I can't control the grip or if I can't control the start, I'm just going to give them some courtesy warnings. And when I say courtesy warnings, when people hear a warning, they think, oh shit, that's 2 warnings. No, it's just a courtesy from the referee to the arm wrestler. Say, calm your shit down because the next time I talk to you about it is going to be a foul. So that's the only way it's going to have to be, really, because
courtesy warning. And this is the head referee, senior, 22 years, WAF referee, certified, talking about an arm wrestling match. I'm going to give you a courtesy. Well, if they cared about courtesy, they wouldn't require a courtesy warning. I don't know what that is, man. Disappointing stuff.
Again, I have no idea what the hell is going to happen on the table. Levan's a pretty, as far as I can see from Levan.
Maybe you're correct, Joel Suraj. You're correct, Joel.
Freaking dude's a monster, but he's a pretty mild manner on the setup. Now, and I don't watch videos on arm wrestlers. I don't see how they pull. I don't see how they try to get creative. Only thing I see is how they set up and how they arm wrestle. And I think where Levan's probably going to get fired up is when Devon starts pulling all his tricks out of the bag, and we may see a different side of Levan that I don't think either one of us is seeing. Both of them guys are the guys where it's that concept: don't grab a hold of something you can't let go of.
Yeah. I hear you. I've had the pleasure of spending some time with Levan in an airport in Munich, and he was like a gentle giant. He was a teddy bear. He was really mild-mannered, caring, gentle soul, and yeah, lovely dude. But yes, I think Devon's ability to push the buttons are going to be very effective.
Yeah, no kidding. I was just going to say, I think the buttons are going to be pushed. I think they're going to be pushed to a level that he's never been pushed before, and man, it's how he deals with it and how he handles it when the buttons are being pushed, because like I say, you got the metal
Gabriel
aspect.
is saying Pradeep, he was referee in basically thousands of events. I agree. This is why I said maybe there is some pressure on Bill Collins, which is not allowing him to perform as the way he wants to perform.
Of this match, and you got the pulling aspect of this match, and if you could conquer one over the other's going to come easy for you.
Absolutely. Hey, that leads nicely into the next question we've got. We've got a super chat in from Karaoke Vic. Thank you very much, $20. He says, great interview, Ryan. Bill is such a great ref, and it's good to hear his opinion. What would you do, Bill, if Devon and Levan got into a fist fight?
Repeat that one more again. Repeat that again for me, Ryan.
Yeah,
and that's, like I said, I apologize for this because I can't hear what the shit. So that's
I have a terrible
that's part of my vocabulary,
I have a terrible accent, Bill. It's all good. Ron Bath can't understand you either.
I
So the
don't
question
think
was-
Ryan has a terrible accent. Like English is my first language, and I can understand what Ryan is speaking in 3.5x speed when I download a video.
Was Bill, what would you do if Devon and Levan got into a fist fight?
Oh, fuck. I'd make sure I stay the hell out of the swinging. No, as a referee, no, that's a damn good question that I never even encountered. But as a referee, would I try to defuse it before it happens? Absolutely.
There you have it. Alex McDonald, who is saying, I'm trying to tell a master referee 40 years experience how it should work. The master referee with 40 years experience just admitted that he never thought about it. If the arm wrestlers get into a fist fight, what he should do. Himself admitted it. So it is not like if the guy is having a lot of experience, he knows how to deal with every situation.
That's going to be the key. Before it gets to that point, it needs to be recognized.
Yeah, Adnan with courtesy warning. Maybe he has so much of experience that he just invented a completely new term in the arm wrestling world, courtesy warning. Have you ever heard anything like that? A man only with 40 years of experience can invent a term like that.
It needs to be handled correctly. Now, let's say it isn't handled correctly and it does start getting into the fist fight. The last KOTs that I've been to, there's guys there that are as big as Devon that I hold down my back to help out.
You got Kadetcher and
Still talking about staying the hell out of the fist fight and having guys to back them up, and not even once mentioning that I'm going to disqualify the guy who starts a fist fight. Not even once. Come on, man.
and all those guys. They'll be there.
Yeah, this is where Larry Will comes into play.
Yeah, exactly. There'll be plenty of muscle there.
Giving that ugly sneak eye and hopefully
Gabriel C. No ref knows how to referee a fist fight. That is, I'm sorry for my language, but that is one of the stupidest comment that I have read today. Have you ever heard about unsportsmanlike conduct? No ref knows how to deal with that? Man, I don't know what you're saying, but unsportsmanlike conduct, if it is serious, it is a straightaway disqualification. So I think every ref should know how to deal with a fist fight.
jump all the guys back while it takes 6 others to pull the others.
Sorry.
But, to be honest with you,
I'm sorry for the language, Gabriel C.
I don't anticipate them to fist fight for the simple fact that there is something in the rules about unsportsmanship conduct and some other stuff that we were able to get in there. So
Okay, he did mention unsportsman conduct. I take my words back, Bill. You know about unsportsman conduct.
When I say the unsportsmanship conduct, you got to expect the tension and the animosity between them to just be burning in each other's face. So, I expect that to come out of them. But like I say, for them to start throwing blows,
Sab the B, I agree, because if the match ends on fouls, it is going to get equal agitation from the fans compared to if it ends, what was the comment? If it ends on fouls, yes, if he's strict, ends on fouls, it is going to look bad. If he does not follow the rules properly and he lets the guy win who should not win in a match, and then he's going to get equal rage from the fans. So he's in a lose-lose situation. I do agree with that.
To take one, I would most likely get in between them. That's just how stupid I am on some of that shit. But I think if it's done properly, we hopefully be able to diffuse it before it gets to that point.
Yeah, I would be incredibly shocked if it did. Both these gentlemen, they're I don't know Levan as well, but Devon behind all this facade and this thing that he does when he's needing to win a match, he's an incredibly respectful gentleman. He really is. So I don't think for a second that it would actually get to that point. But yeah, you got to be honest. You can see it kind of happening at some point. But
yeah. But and to be honest with you, Ron, I think I really don't think they're going to want to fight each other. I think the words can fly. I'm expecting a little bit, but I don't think, you know, I look at Devon because, you know, Devon's really good at playing the head game. And again, I think Devon's approach could probably be getting inside of Levan's head without really doing anything physical to Devon or to Levan.
And I agree with the trash talking. I have nothing against it. Although I still believe that it should not be allowed at amateur level, like WAP tournaments and national level tournaments. But in a professional tournament, you absolutely cannot and should not stop the trash talking, even if it gets disrespectful. I think you should allow that. But fist fight, it should be very clear about what is going to happen.
And I think Levan's a gentle giant. He's man enough to recognize that. But man, I don't know. I don't know what their breaking point is. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, they start talking about each other's mother.
Whatever their breaking point is, if you mention that you're straight away going to disqualify that person, it is going to increase. The threshold is going to increase.
Different scenario going on.
Yeah, we don't
You
go
know,
there. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we got a super chat here from Red Rocket Pig. He hasn't got a question for us, Bill. He just made a call on what he thinks.
Who you got in a fist fight? Man, that is a difficult question. Devon is old. If Devon was young, I would have probably picked him. But Devon is 47 years old. It is not really easy for a 47-year-old guy to fight.
Said, I think round one is going to be a rough, ugly King's move. I don't think Devon's pronation will hold up. I think he'll be palm up and trying to hold it on his arm. We've seen a big evolution to the King's move in recent times. Bill, I remember you famously refereed probably the ugliest double King's move match in history. Was it MacTell and who was it?
Became time sensitive, so their match got scratched off the card. The next day, being that both people had some family members. Well, you know,
they were looking under the table at each other.
Yeah, they were down there bumping bellies with each other, you know. But
Are you anticipating? Are you seeing a King's move from Levan at any stage? Are you expecting one?
I think Ryan did a great job. I think he asked good questions, but I think I would have been a better interviewer for Bill Collins. I admit I would have given him some hard time, but I would have asked the strictly professional questions about the rules and not so much, are you going to see a King's move from Levan and such sort of things. Like clearly, if somebody drags their elbow off the back of the pad, how is it going to end? Things like that. I think Ryan also asked this question, but the questions should have been more detailed.
If it's like this, just a little bit, you know, I'm not going to stop the match or give them the foul. You know, when it starts to decline, because it's, you know, there's certain parts of declining. So at what point do you say stop? But if I do see it to start to go down in this direction, we're going to stop the match.
Which is good.
Sure.
Which is good.
And Skeptical is coming with a super chat right on that
Clear
line.
enough.
He asked, will you be strict with the King's move under the table? And Bill's just answered that one there, Skeptical. But thank you very much for that super chat. We got another one from DCS Beamer. He says, hey, Bill, any chance we can have a match between you and Bart Wood at King of the Table 5?
Well, you know, Bart's a tough dude, man. You know,
Bart Wood, he has to be a tough dude. He has to have a very thick skin because he was not allowed to do anything at WL.
You know, I'm going to talk about Bart just a little bit. Bart's actually a pretty damn good referee. It's just he's dealing with some really super ambiguous rules that make him, it doesn't do him any favors. No different than the KOT.
I would like to go a little bit off topic here. People were saying that look at WL matches, how many views they got, and trying to give credit to the rules because of that. I think the credit should go to the athletes. They were high level athletes, and the production value as well. WL has the best production value out there, period. Nobody is even close. And I don't think it was mainly because of the rules. And if we talk about the views only, if you go to YouTube, search arm wrestling and sort by most viewed, most popular videos, I think 100 out of the top 100 are going to be comedy and funny videos. So if it is only about the views, then we should start doing comedy altogether. Nawaz Sharif, Larry Wheels, driver who lifts weights for him, like Spotter, he has probably 2-3 100 million plus views. All of them are funny videos. So I think it is not entirely about the views, although I also do care a lot about high number of views, but I think it should not be completely about that.
Rules for me, some of them don't do any favors when people are looking at rigid set rules. Now, I haven't competed, I haven't put my arm on the table for probably 5 years. But if Bart would want a super match, I would really.
And he's saying behave Pradeep, Ryan is a great interview. I did say that line myself, like Ryan did a great job here, but I would have liked to keep it more strictly, like professional.
You have to tune up for him because he's tough on the table too. But what I expect that match to have, you said?
Yeah, Do you think Devon is in the chat secretly watching this interview right now?
Of course, maybe Devon is here as well.
I can't see who your Taz. The only thing I can see is you and I right now. Hell, I don't know. Does he follow you, Ryan? Does he hate you like
Yeah,
some
I
of the
think
other
so.
people?
I reckon.
And, you know-
I reckon. I just feel like any word you say right now, Bill, Devon is listening. He wants to know. He's writing every single word you say down so he can hold you to it when it comes to it.
Well, I tell you, I'm pretty brutally honest.
Master Jack, there is absolutely no way Bill is going to have an interview with me after watching this.
I don't sugarcoat shit very much, but if Devon is listening, hey, good luck with probably the biggest match in your career. And I'm just going to try to proctor this match the way the rules are written. And I expect some stuff to come out of you, no different than the other matches. But it's how I handle it when it does. So and I don't got nothing against Devon. He's one of the greats without a doubt.
Absolutely. Super chat from
I know how it is going to end. It is going to end exactly like the first round at King of the Table 2. This is how it is going to end. And I want to tell you, even today, I got a dream about King of the Table 4, Devon versus Levan match. And Levan lost that match. Devon won that match. And suddenly, to me, Devon was appearing to be like this mythical creature. He was suddenly 12 feet tall. And like nobody was able to touch him. Like people had to get appointments to even talk to him. Like it was a wild dream, man.
From Skeptical, he says, Will a long setup happen again like it did with the John Brzezinski?
Yes, for sure.
Yeah,
100%.
That was one of the other things. Like I say, when a referee's done with an event or he's done with a match, they either feel good or they feel like shit. That first match, again, brutally honest, I feel like shit after that first match for the simple fact that I feel things could have been tighter. The whole objective was to see the drama and have the tell into the story.
So Bill is saying that he felt like shit after this match, which clearly shows that he admits that he should have done a better job. So he admits that. If he does that once again, it is entirely on you, Bill. It is entirely on you.
Now, it's definitely going to be shortened up because there's nothing worse. Again, as I said,
Meth for sure. Do you get some special dreams when you're meth? I don't know what methanol. I don't know what the full form of that is.
Before arm wrestling is relatively boring unless you're arm wrestler or you're totally engaged with it. And when you're looking at a longer setup like that, we're going to lose the captive audience. So, the whole objective is to be able to control
Mark is dreaming about his neighbor's wife. I dream about my wife as well.
it, contain it, and not let it drag on like the first one
Not neighbor's wife.
with John and Devon.
Gotcha. Hey, I don't know what if a bunch of people in the chat are saying we got an echo. I do apologize. I'm not hearing an echo. Are you hearing an echo?
I'm also going to suggest is before the starting of all these matches, it wouldn't be a bad idea to just have a scroll going up on the screen, just kind of outlining some of the rules so the viewers could at least have an idea what's going on. We're working on trying to make.
For the viewers, it is kind of okay. But I don't know, this is the match where we're talking about the rules the most. And I think we should not talk about the rules at all. Because Devon has mentioned rules probably 100 times. And he says he knows and reads the rules very carefully. Devon does not need the rules. And Bill mentioned earlier that Levan also said that he does not care about the rule system. He's going to just break Devon's arm. So nobody's caring about the rules. I think they should not even have a rules briefing this time, technically speaking. Since everybody knows about the rules here.
Make things bigger and better and make a more friendly user for not only the referees, the pullers, and the spectators itself.
Beautiful. Good stuff, Bill. Once again, thank you for all you're doing for growing the sport, for being part of it, and we wish you well. We'll all be watching, and safe travels to Dubai as well. You head off Tuesday, is it?
Yeah, we fly out Tuesday. I fly out Tuesday. It's like a brutal 15.5-hour flight. So
you got nothing. You got nothing. You can't talk to an Aussie about long flights. That's all right. You can't talk to me about long. You can't complain about long flights to an Australian. For me to fly anywhere in the world, it's like 35 hours.
Yeah, it's brutal. Yeah, thanks.
All good. You take care, Bill.
All right. Thanks, Ryan. Take care, buddy.
Yeah.
And
I dropped you off there, Bill. What were you about to say? Notes on what the rules were. I will no doubt be expecting them to be followed through that precedent that was set.
Okay. Matt Rhodes Sport is in the house. I can't read your comment yet. Let me check. What was Matt Rhodes saying? This is in really poor taste. I agree, Matt. And it has to be. Because it is for sure going to be in poor taste after this match ends. And I think you also know the way it is going to end. I think Bill has already kind of Agreed. How it is going to end? Why it shouldn't be in a poor taste when the referee is saying, I'm going to give them courtesy warnings? Well, like, what is courtesy warning? It has to be in a poor taste. That is the whole point of this video. And I'm not going to delete it or anything. Never going to happen. I just want the referee to have some power to apply the rules. I just want... People are saying arm wrestling is not maths. Well, rules should always be maths. Unless it is about running fouls, which we cannot apply any math here. Because if you're talking about the rules, 5 minutes and only one foul in a set grip or referee's grip, that just does not add up well. It is not possible. If they are not taking a grip, and it means it is a foul if they are not taking a grip, and you're taking 5 minutes to start a match, and there is only one foul, that is just poor math according to me. It should not happen. And I'll message you, Matt, after this match ends, and I'll show you how poor taste people are taking it to, what level people are taking it to after the match ends. Because it is going to happen. No athlete is clear about the rules. What a joke. No, he didn't. He said Devon didn't break any rules. Watch it again. Yes, clearly. And at first event, he said that if you do not attempt to take a grip, it is going to be foul. And now Bill said that nobody broke any rules. Clearly, they were not attempting to take a grip. I think Bill forgot what he said at King of the Table 1 rules briefing. Yes, Sabdabi, correct. He said he felt like shit after the first round of King of the Table 2. So Bill also admits that he did some mistakes. And right now he's talking about courtesy fouls, courtesy warnings. I don't know what that means. Let's see how that goes. I think that was it for this video. Thank you very much. I think, where is Andre19? Andre, please tell me what ad you got to see. I'm going to end it soon. I just want, just please do not get me wrong, guys. Please do. I'm not doubting anyone's experience. I'm just saying that for the sake of letting the match end on pins, do not sacrifice the purity of an arm wrestling match, the purity of rules that must be followed. All I want is the rules to be followed. If Levan does not follow the rules, foul him. If Devon does not follow the rules, foul him. But just don't mention that, well, I did not foul them because it would have looked bad for the fans. People want to see it end on pins. Then there is no point of having a referee there. They're going to pin. Somebody is going to pin someone, even if the referee is not there. Thanks, Pradeep. Thanks, Mark. Thanks for everyone speaking your mind. Look into the camera and smell fingers. Pradeep will go bald. Yes, I may shave. I actually got an email from a hair oil or hair supplement company to do an advertisement for them. So maybe I'll do that before I shave my head. Anyways, guys, I know many people are going to take it in a, what was that comment? Poor taste. But I just want the rules to be followed. Nothing less, nothing more. Thank you. Bye-bye.